For conservative commentators who are not fans of Donald Trump, this is getting really personal. They are practically apoplectic at what Trump is doing to the campaign, what he's doing to the Republican Party, even as Donald continues to surge in the polls in Iowa, New Hampshire, in national polls. A lot of Republicans like this guy, but he is kind of getting back in the hand treatment from some of the Beltway pundits on the right, who ordinarily would be cheering on the leading Republican presidential candidate. I was really struck in reading a piece by Jonah Goldberg on National Review Online at how personal it has gotten. Jonah writing that if I sound dismayed, it's only because I am. Conservatives have spent more than 60 years arguing that ideas and character matter. This is the conservative movement I joined and dedicated my professional life to, and now in a moment of passion, many of my comrades in arms are throwing it all away in a fit of pique because Trump fights. And the argument that Jonah Goldberg makes, and to some extent that Charles Krauthammer makes, and to some extent that George Will makes and others, is that Trump is a fake conservative, that he doesn't adhere to conservative principles, that he doesn't really have an ideology, and therefore they are upset because this is what they have spent their careers battling for. And there are lots of examples you can point to. Trump, for example, saying he wants to raise taxes on the rich hedge fund guys. Republican candidates talking about raising taxes doesn't usually go together. They point to his past praise for things like single-payer health care, Medicare-style health care system, apparently shifting positions on the question of abortion, past praise for Hillary Clinton, and all of that. But here's the thing. Donald Trump's fans, the people, the Republicans who are telling pollsters that they would vote for him, whether it's in Iowa, New Hampshire, South Carolina, or across the country, they are not people who necessarily put themselves in ideological boxes. Yes, they are self-identified conservatives. They want smaller government. They generally want lower taxes. They generally are conservative on social issues. But the people who pop off for a living are those who spend a lot of time grappling with these issues. And if you deviate on what they consider to be important, I would say even litmus test issues, then you get denounced. You're not really a conservative. But a lot of voters don't think that way. They like Trump's personality, obviously. They like his blunt talk, definitely. They like his common sense approach, and they like the fact that he's a successful businessman who's built, golf courses and casinos and hotels around the world. And so they say, I believe in this guy, and I'm not concerned if he can name every foreign terrorist leader in an interview with Hugh Hewitt. They are willing to allow him some running room on the question of taxes or health care, or to allow for the fact that he has changed his mind. Trump is a former Democrat. He admits it. He says, just like Ronald Reagan. So I haven't seen the conservative punditocracy this upset and this split, because not everybody is in the anti-Trump camp. You have folks like Rush Limbaugh and Laura Ingraham, far more sympathetic to Donald Trump. I haven't seen such a split since the fall of 2008, when Sarah Palin was running for vice president, and a few prominent conservative commentators and columnists spoke out and said they didn't think she was qualified to be a heartbeat away from the presidency, and there was a huge backlash against them. This is a healthy debate, and the people who believe in conservative principles ought to argue for those principles, and if they don't think that Donald Trump ought to be their standard bearer, they have every right to say so. But the fact is, when they attack him for this kind of departing from the conservative orthodoxy, and then when they attack his personality, and when they attack him on just about every measure, it is helping him. It is not hurting Donald Trump, unlike the way it would hurt, say, any other Republican candidate, because Trump is getting to write his own rules. He's not running solely as a movement conservative. Therefore, the people who like him are giving him lots of slack, and the attacks that ordinarily might drag down just about any other standard issue Republican presidential candidate, in Trump's case, those attacks just aren't working.